incredibly scary. And that's why so many men decide to be beta chumps. Because it's fucking scary to be an alpha. Because they are afraid. It's a scary thing to write a song and go play it at a fucking yoga studio fucking open mic night. And there's a great deal of security by letting somebody else dominate you. By letting somebody else dictate the path that you're on. And by letting somebody else chart the course of the ship that you're on. It's easy. But the problem is, when you do that, you are essentially a slave. I'm parked outside Moto. If you want to come practice the song, or do a cover song, or live stream some comedy.
In a quarter mile, take exit 8 from La Brea Avenue. Take exit 8, then keep left at the 4th. Keep left at the 4th.
Maybe if we stop time, we can pick up thoughts fly.
Keep right at the 4th. Continue on La Brea Avenue North for 3 miles.
Leads them to partition, like Anthony to Cleopatra. It happens all the time. You have to figure out who you are. A lot of guys pretend to be alpha, which is just stupid. You want to know what alpha really is? You want to know what the real alpha male is? The true alpha male is a man who steers his own ship. Alpha means leader. No matter how modest, he steers it in a course that he sets. Really, CRP? Is the homeless guy pushing around a shopping cart full of shit an alpha because he's the one who wants to be doing that and he's doing it? He goes where he wants to go, not where somebody else wants to go. He goes where he wants to go. And that is incredibly hard. That is incredibly scary. And that is why so many men decide to be beta chumps. Because they are afraid. Because it is a scary thing to go out into the world and mark your own path and not follow somebody else. And there is a great deal of security by letting somebody else dominate you. By letting somebody else dictate the path that you're on. By letting somebody else chart the course of the ship that you're on. It's easy. But the problem is, when you do that, you are essentially a slave. And it might so happen that the destination that you are going on, that is being guided by some other man, well, maybe that destination reaches El Dorado. And there are, women in gold and sun and the lights and wonderfulness all around. It could be that. Or it could be that, the ship sinks because the man you're following is a loser. It could be that. I myself made my choice. I've always driven my own ship. I've always gone where I wanted to go, not where somebody else led me. It's important that you decide who you want to be. And if you decide that you are, by temperament, by circumstances, that you are a beta chump, well, that's your lot in life. But don't pretend to be alpha when you're really beta. Why are women so fucking unhappy? Why are women so fucking unhappy? Why should you, a guy, care that women are unhappy? Why? Why should you care? The reason I'm saying is this, that 95 or 90% of my audience is male. And so very few women are going to be watching this video. And very few of my audience members will care that women are so unhappy. But actually, it's important to understand why women in the Western democracies are so unhappy. Because you who are a guy, if you understand why the women you are surrounded with are so unhappy, you'll be able to look away from these women and find women who are happy and therefore can make you happy. Because you will never find happiness with somebody who is fundamentally unhappy. You'll never find happiness, true joy, and satisfaction with somebody who is just miserable with the life that they are living. It's impossible. In order to be happy with a woman, you have to find a content woman. A woman is not miserable. And women in the West are miserable. And for reasons that I'm going to get into in this video. Now, why would you want to find a happy woman? Well, because finding a woman who would be the mother of your children, who would, with you, look to create a family, that is how you find your true happiness and satisfaction. It's all good and fine to say that you're a lone wolf, and all guys can live on their own and be by themselves their whole lives without the company of a woman, without building a family. And that happens. Many men are like that. I was like that for a long time. And then I got to a point where I realized that I needed a family. I went out and got myself a family, and I have one, and that's that. But the point I'm trying to make, see, is most men need to build a family because that's what gives them true joy. You will not be able to build a happy family if you're with an unhappy woman. And so I'm going to explain why these women are so unhappy. And from this explanation, you will be able to understand why so many of the women around you are just out of the picture. You're just not going to be able to make a happy life with them, and you should turn elsewhere to find true joy with a woman. Okay? Okay, so let's get started. Now, it is self-evident that the women in the West are not happy. You see, I don't need to point to studies, and I don't need to point to this. How many women are taking antidepressants? How many women are just getting drunk? Young women are just getting drunk every weekend or every night and drinking during the week excessively. They might not get smashed on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but they get pretty tipsy, right? And the weekends, well, that's when all bets are off. All right? We all know that. Insofar as drugs are concerned, same thing. Same thing. See all these women who are so fat. I mean, they're at home and they're watching TV and they eat a pint of ice cream all by themselves. And then they decide that they want a second pint and then a third pint. And by the fourth pint, they are crying into their tub of ice cream, miserable, as they're scooping the ice cream into their mouths and becoming these enormously fat women. What do you think that is? That they're happy? That they have like incredible joy in their life? And that's why crying into their tub of ice cream? No, they are fucking unhappy. Okay? They are unhappy, unfortunately, and I hate to say this, but society has made them unhappy, okay? So why are they so unhappy? Why are these women so miserable? Well, it's very simple. See, men and women are happy when they are together in a family. This is the natural order of things. It doesn't matter really if you are a creationist who believes every word of the Bible, or a strict atheist evolutionary guy who knows that it's just natural selection. Either course, either explanation leads to the same conclusion. Men and women have been either designed or evolved to be together and to find happiness and satisfaction being together as they build a family. If men and women did not